everybody, it is Tristan
and Jackson.
And we are Los Hermanos, and we're starting this brand new podcast with Justin Ander. It's going to be about, entrepreneurs and kind of like how they became who they are today. So we'll be interviewing people, just telling stories, giving kind of a value for for you guys to see, and like if you guys want to start something, maybe you can get some information from us and make it easier for you guys.
So how do you want to get started today?
First, I want to thank the Cricket Club for supplying these drinks. I got the Shoots Black Porter Butte.
And I have a old fashioned with Templeton Rye from my man JB downstairs.
All right, so first, let's start off with your story, Jackson. How'd you kind of become this entrepreneur?
Well, I'm Jackson, obviously, and I went to Harper Creek High School, graduated in 2005, born in Ohio, but basically raised in Battle Creek. And when I graduated high school, I had this kind of crazy idea that I wanted to get into business and maybe even own my own hotel someday. And well, that didn't really pan out, but I went to Adrian College my freshman year, met a ton of great people, but it just wasn't really the right fit for me. So I came back, transferred to Olivet College, majored in marketing management, graduated there in 2009, and got my first job out of college, and kind of went on from there. Was there for a few years, nothing was really clicking too much, and then moved on to my other job at the Federal Center, but I always still just had this little itch to do something more besides just work for someone. So when this opportunity came around to work for myself, and hop on this coffee train, I took it and kind of ran with it.
All right, so my experience is pretty much basically the same, but even when I was little, I was always doing, lemonade stands, bake sales, and I always kind of figured that was what I wanted to do. Whenever there was a chance at our daycare down here at Stars and Stripes, I took it. I instead of going out and playing, I did those stands, and then I wanted to be a lawyer. Went to Michigan State with that plan, and then came 2016 summer. I went to San Francisco on an internship. It was for a drone racing league startup, and it was just a two-person place, and I was really in the thick of things with them. I was right below the COO, very close to the CEO, so I saw a lot of things that really intrigued me in being a business owner. And so right then, I kind of knew I wasn't going to be a lawyer because I didn't really get the best LSAT score, but at the same time, I was in San Francisco doing something, and I really enjoyed it. So, like I said, I got home that August. You and Dad had been talking about starting a coffee business, and kind of like pitched it to me, I guess. And I kind of was like, "Let's do it." And so, since then, we hit the pavement. Let's tell everybody a little bit how we got into this specific coffee.
All right. So the coffee that we brew and sell is Cafe Naranjo. It is from a co-op in Costa Rica in Alajuela in the city of Naranjo. And they are a co-op of about 2,200 independent farmers that formed 50 years ago this year, 50th anniversary.
It's a long time.
And yeah, it is. And their main goal was to stay family-run farms. They strive for sustainability and environmental friendliness, and it's a really big deal to them to keep their farms family-run. And one of the big selling points for them too is they are 40% female-owned and operated farms. So that's a huge thing for them, and I think it's 97% of the farms are family-run, and the other ones are run by the co-op. So their mission just really kind of fell right in line with what I personally liked, and it also happened to be the coffee that our father has drank for over 30 years.
Yeah, he kind of went down there after our parents got married, and was kind of on this quasi mission. He really wasn't looking for a brand of coffee, but he was just looking for a coffee that he'd stumbled upon this brand. Like you said, been drinking it for 30 plus years, and it's been in our family ever since I was born.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, been drinking it for a while. And yeah, that summer we started a website, started selling it online, and just kind of went from there. And you know, it wasn't until this summer this summer of 2018 when we started doing the coffee shop, because we planned on doing the cold brew.
Yeah.
To start, we're going to go to farmers markets and just sell our cold brew bottles that we went and got licensed at the Can Do Kitchen, because we did their camp for 12 weeks, which was very helpful. There's a lot in the food business that isn't really out there that most people don't know. And so like we looked it up and we're like, all right, let's do this. And you got to get a commercial kitchen. And we're like,
man, that is really expensive. I had a whole bunch of friends telling me to bottle it because I had made it for myself, just to drink. I found it online. I was like, ooh, cold brew, sounds cool. And I started making it for myself, and then started giving some of my friends, and they said we should bottle it. So I kind of pitched it to these guys. And we're like, oh yeah, how can we do that? And then we found out you got to be licensed and have a licensed kitchen to make it in. And so we looked up those costs, and it was pretty astronomical to start with, just something on a whim. So I was at work one day, and someone came and was talking to me about that and introduced the concept of an incubator kitchen. And I didn't really know what that was at first, so I did some research online and found there's a few in West Michigan that we might be able to use. Tristan was living in Grand Rapids at the time. I was at Battle Creek. So we found one in Grand Rapids, and we found one in Kalamazoo, and we kind of split the difference. Went to the one in Kalamazoo. It's called Can Do Kitchen. If you get a chance, look them up. They're great people. Helped us out a ton.
and especially if you're trying to get into the food industry, I would definitely look for your local incubator kitchens, because like I said, starting that kitchen can be a pretty hefty bill up front. And if you're not sure, like we weren't very sure at the beginning if we wanted to do that, so we weren't looking to invest a lot, this is a good way to do it. But yeah, so then we did that.
So they run something called their Can Do Kitchen Boot Camp. It's a 12-week course that you sign up for, and it's once a week in Kalamazoo. It's about 2 hours, I think. And they go through the ins and outs of food entrepreneurship, from branding to labeling to laws, how to get licensed, where you need to make your product, where you can sell your product, all sorts of things. And so we really kind of just got thrown to the wolves in that. They come at you fast, but you only have 12 weeks. Sounds like it's a long time, but it's really not.
Especially when you're only meeting once a week, it's pretty boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and so what they do is they have a weekly class. It's at night, and then every now and then they'll have an extra supplementary workshop, which those were actually some of the more valuable tools for us, because we got a lot of good contacts from those with people that we still work with today.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You gotta make contacts when you can. It's crazy how many people we've still talked to this day that we met at Can Do Kitchen.
Good.
And yeah, just keep up with those contacts. You never know when you're actually gonna meet them.
Yeah, and it may come to a surprise to everyone, but we are not always the most social people in the world. So kind of going out to these mixers and these things, not knowing anyone there, was a little challenging at first, but that actually really helps you out in the end, because then you can just, when you go to when you have an established business and then you go to these other mixers where you need to talk to people and sell to people, it kind of comes easy, right, because you've been through those little roadblocks earlier on in the process.
Yeah, and so we finished that. Our plan was farmers markets, and then, what was it, February or March, that you went to Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, my friend Kayla got a job at the Chamber of Commerce, and I swung by there to go say congrats to her. And her boss was like, hey, aren't you that coffee guy that Kayla got the coffee from? You guys should really look into this. And it was called BC Cargo, put on by the Small Business Development Fund in Battle Creek. And we had a choice to make, schlep it up every weekend, go to a new farmer's market or go to the same farmer's market and sell our bottles, or just kind of completely pivot and jump ahead in our 5-year plan and just go for a shot. And we just looked at the pros and cons and just decided that we couldn't pass this up.
Yeah, it really was too good of an offer to pass up. Just logistically, while going to the farmer's market, it's a great way to start. if you have an opportunity to kind of have a home base and kind of build your clientele within that home base, it really is a great great utilization of your time. Yeah, so we started that, and then what was that? Mid-June we opened, and every day we've been open, and yeah.
We kind of had a rough start. Our first customer was the mayor of Battle Creek, and we served him up a nice cold coffee.
But it was supposed to be a hot coffee.
But it wasn't a cold brew, no. And he didn't say a word to us.
No.
To this day, he has not said a word about that. He turned around, left, got in his car, took off. Tristan looked at me, and I looked at him. I was like, I think that cup was cold.
Yeah.
And it was, but he's never said a word. He comes back weekly, nearly daily. I mean, he's back all the time.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate your loyalty.
Yeah, and it's support like that, even though we had a rough start, that is really driving us.
Yeah.
I mean, we would not be here if it weren't for the regulars that come in every day and say, hey, you know, I mean, especially now, it's November.
Yeah,
it's raining every day, it's 40 degrees. Tristan's out in that cargo unit every day, freezing, and we still get regulars that come through to come get their coffee.
Yeah,
and that is amazing, and that's really what has shown us that we can do this.
Yeah, and you know, you for a small business, you definitely need that local support, and when you get that support, it is phenomenal. It's a great feeling. You know, it's to the point where like there's people that come in, I know exactly what they want before they even walk out of their car, and it's just a great feeling to kind of get that loyalty from people and the support. And so we thank everybody that does that. But yeah, so then that brings us to here today. We're still at the cargo unit. Plans are coming for expansion, not quite allowed to announce yet, but hopefully when you're watching this, we can.
And already would have.
Yeah, so
we are intent, I wouldn't even say looking for a brick and mortar anymore. I mean, this is pretty much as far as being a done deal without there being ink on the paper.
We'll be a full service espresso. We'll have a little bit more food options. You know, when you think of a coffee shop, that's what we'll be. We'll do that. We'll expand our cold brew lines since that's kind of our specialization. So
kind of our shtick is we're not just your traditional coffee shop. He's got a background in bartender, and so we kind of wanted to play on that. And so we have a lot of cocktail-inspired coffee drinks. We kind of really want to be a micro brewer of cold brew. Like we want to come out with these new flavors of cold brew that you don't even think about. They might not sound good, but they end up great. We've already kind of done that. We got our vanilla nitro, which is a huge hit.
Right.
And we had our fall flavor. It was cinnamon nutmeg, kind of like a pumpkin spice latte, but it wasn't really. It wasn't loaded up with sugar.
Because that's one of our pillars. We want to flavor these things without adding a bunch of sugar. We want natural flavors. We want you to feel good about what you're drinking and actually drink and taste the coffee and not just garbage that people are putting in there. So that's one of our main focuses.
Yeah, one of our big things is that we want to teach people how to drink black coffee.
Yeah.
It may not be everyone's desire or thing, but if you can drink that black coffee, you can taste those complex flavors that are actually in the beans, and you can enjoy it better. Like as soon as you start throwing sugar and cream and milk in it, you're just drinking a generic coffee, and the love we've developed for the Cafe Rica coffee is gone because you can't really taste that good flavor. And so we just want to really share that with you. That's one of our, it's in our mission statement.
Yes.
We want to take the delicious coffee from Alajuela, from, as we say, the volcanoes of Costa Rica to you.
Yeah. And so, great way to taste that is drinking it black. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. Like you said, hopefully you already know about that. But tying it back to our real mission statement of this podcast is that the entrepreneurship. So Jack, what do you think has been one of our biggest failures that actually was a success in the end?
Well, the first one that comes to my mind is when we first started selling our coffee online. We were just really hitting the branding about how great our coffee was and just featuring the coffee and telling everyone that Cafe Rica was the best coffee in the world. best Costa Rican coffee there is. And I still firmly believe that. I stand behind that. But Cafe Rica, part of what makes it so special is it's not in the U.S. It hasn't been really sold here much. Amazon sold it for a little bit, and that didn't really take. Naranjo didn't really like Amazon, so they stopped selling with them, and so we kind of struck up a deal with them. Right now, we are the exclusive importers of this coffee to the U.S., and we've met with them. We went down to the facility. They really like what we're about. And so we were really just branding the coffee. Didn't really see any return on that. And we're just like, well, you know, there's no brand awareness for this, so we get it. And then when we were at the Can Do Kitchen boot camp, they did one about branding.
Missy.
Yep.
Handmade Kalamazoo.
Handmade Kalamazoo. If you're ever on Vine Street, go to her shop. It's great. It's very eclectic. There's a lot of locally made products there. But Missy is a branding expert that the Can Do Kitchen had to come in, and I think there's probably eight of us there in camp, like 8 small businesses, and so she all sat us down and was like, all right, tell me a little bit about yourself and go. And so we went around the room kind of talking back and forth about what we were, and she got to us and we're like, well, you know, we're 2 young guys, not kind of charming, good-looking guys, dress well. She goes, boom, that's your branding right there. You guys.
Also, our mother is from Costa Rica, so she was like, there's the family ties. And like at the time, we had the same glasses frame, basically. And people already asked us if we were twins. They still do every single day.
Every day.
We're not. He's 8 years older than I am. But, you know, that she said, you know, start using yourselves as a brand. People don't buy things from products or brands, they buy them from people and the relationships they built. So we took that and ran with it and just started that day. After that class, we started our first video that I think we put out together.
Yeah, we walked out of that class in front of the hospital over in Kalamazoo.
And just went for it.
Flipped it to a selfie, just did a quick video, and then ever since then we've done we focus on us as the branding. Us is kind of the why behind our product rather than the product leading us.
And then bringing that experience that both of us can kind of bring to everybody's daily life. And, you know, that was one of our failures, was branding. I think another big one that comes to my mind is we went to the Blues Fest over in Kalamazoo at Wing Stadium.
Blues Fest 2017.
Yeah, we had, you know, we went into there like, all right, this is like our first event. We're gonna sell the shit out of this coffee. That's the best coffee in the world.
Yeah, we're just gonna set up. We got this awesome new banner with this picture of this beach in Costa Rica that looks amazing. No one believes it's a real picture. They think it's photoshopped. Our dad took it off his phone. We just had this awesome banner, pretty cool setup. We saw our logo up on the TVs in the way.
We were hyped.
Stadium.
We were so ready for this. And we get there. We sold, I think, 1 bag, and I think that was a pity buy. I think they bought it because they felt sorry.
I think this guy had seen us sitting there, no one coming up to us for 2 days, and bought himself a bag of coffee.
But one thing we did learn, and this is the same day we decided to start doing our cold brew, is that people want to try something before they buy it. You know, we were selling these higher price bags of coffee that no one's ever heard of, and the funny thing was, the second day we brought samples, and we could not give those things away for free.
Yeah, we were trying all morning. We're like, hey, try this free cup of coffee.
Sample.
People would walk by, hey, do you know where they're selling coffee? Or I'm like, I don't, but we're giving away some coffee. You want to try it? They're like, yeah, I'm gonna go look for some coffee.
By the way, there was none. We knew that they weren't open. So, yeah. So then that same guy left, and we said, well, let's just sell it for $1. He came back. He's like, all right, can I get a cup of coffee? And we're like, yeah, sure, $1. And he goes, okay.
And then out of the woodwork, people were like, oh, he bought coffee there?
Yeah.
They were buying these little 8-ounce tester styrofoam cups of coffee for $1 a pop.
Yeah.
And that's where we made our money.
Right.
Was selling those $1 samples.
But the best thing that came out of that was we sat there for the first day for like 12 hours just going, how do we get people to try our coffee? And he happened to have that gallon of cold brew, and we tried it, and that's how we did it. We decided that day we wanted to do cold brew, and it's just, we've ridden that train, that wave.
And so we wouldn't be anywhere near what we are today, where we are today. You'd probably still be in Grand Rapids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If we didn't fail at the Blues Fest and just completely fall on our ass and just have to kind of really pivot and realize what we needed to do to get people to taste our coffee.
When you have 12 hours to sit there and talk to your business partner about how to make money when you're not, it's actually a really good positive thing. So I would advise doing that as much as possible. But yeah, so that's our story. We're looking to bring more of these stories, more advice and all that to you guys, and really bring some value. We've learned a lot of things from watching other people, and we hope we can give the same thing to you guys. And so let's end with a piece of advice.
Piece of advice? It doesn't need to be business related. It can be whatever related. Mine is applicable to business, but not necessarily business centric. When you are faced with a long task list, be it chores to do at home, things you need to do for your business plan, don't try and tackle them all at once. Yeah. Just sit there and say, and prioritize, don't prioritize, whatever. Say, all right, line number 4, let me finish that, get that done, because then in your head you're like, okay, I accomplished something, let's go. If you're sitting there trying to cherry pick and do everything, you're not going to finish.
Yeah, you're just going to stay stagnant. And for the most part, you start one thing, you're going to get the ball rolling anyway, so you'll maybe not have everything prioritized, but you'll get it done, that one easy thing, and then you're like, all right, I got this confidence pretty much. And you start just doing stuff.
And I know there's a lot of people that have anxiety about stuff, and they see a big list and they start freaking out. And it's like, that is a simple way to finish something and move on to the next one. You can kind of put your mind at ease and keep the ball rolling on your project.
Yeah, and that kind of rolls with what I want to give some advice to, is really just, if you want to do something, go out and actually do it. You're not going to get anywhere just pondering and thinking like how to do it. Just test it out. Just like us, we went to that expo, that Blues Fest. We tried it, thought it was going to be a success, it wasn't. But then we made it a positive and just, we figured out, all right, that's not going to work. So we changed our approach to something, and we just kept going and just, like this podcast, we've been talking about doing this for a while, and we weren't
got a bug up our ass and said we're going to do it.
Right.
So we did it. And luckily, Justin, he came out, was telling us about his new project, Freedom City, and it had really just aligned with what we wanted to do. Right. So we were just like, hey man, you want to help us out with this? And he jumped on it. So,
which is another good advice. If you aren't good at something, find someone else that can help you, because you can't spend all your time on this punch list if you know you can't do it, and maybe someone else can come help you and you can get that list done.
And I would put a caveat on your thing. Go out and do it responsibly. Not everybody can do what you did and quit your jobs,
definitely.
Move back home and just go all in on it. People have responsibilities, people have bills to pay. So do that, but also if you are passionate about it, you'll find a way to do it.
Right. That's about it for today. We're going to try bringing these out regularly, help Justin hopefully every week. So
we're going to have a variety of people that we want to get on here. We have a ton of contacts we've met through our small business.
Let us know, anybody, if you want to be on this, or someone
you want to be in on it, or this is just a way that we're going to try and get people who help the community, be it an entrepreneur, a nonprofit, an activist, artists, musicians, anybody. We want to get them on here, hear their story, because guess what? They might inspire you to go do what you want to do, or us asking them on here and them telling their story might actually make them do what they really want to do. And that's all we want to do, because Battle Creek is awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate on it, and it really just irritates me when people who are from Battle Creek just shit on it all the time, but do nothing. And so nothing's going to ever get better if you don't do anything about it. So we want to start spreading the good, positive stories about people in the community doing things to help. Be that here in Battle Creek, Southwest Michigan, Kalamazoo, Lansing, wherever. Stories of positivity will help everyone.
Absolutely. All right, that's about it. Take it easy.
Take it easy.